So you can send me a
Okay.
time.
Yeah, 13th or 14th, any,
All right, we're gonna get started, Mr. Ambrosino.
See ya.
yeah. Well, it's next to your shop, right?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you had to, once wasn't enough saying that, you had to say it twice, huh?
I want to make sure everybody.
Yeah, I think they did. All right. Okay, welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting, June 5th. Everybody join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, now you have reorganization on first, but we're only doing that after Mr. McHenry's hearing, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so we skip by that. Any correspondence to the board? I don't think so, right? Okay. Exercising the right of first refusal on 61B. I think we have delayed this, waiting for your recommendation?
Right, and, you can waive it, or...
You're fine for us to go, okay. So, Mr. Burke?
So, I move not to exercise the option to purchase the property located at parcel 8A Kim's Way under chapter 61B.
Step down a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, we got a bunch of one-year appointments. What's the, what do we got for a mechanism there? We got everybody in one?
Yep, so let me
This
just go
whole
through.
first section, number
Yep.
5, right, for the 1 years?
Yeah, so I move to make the following appointments for terms to expire June 30th, 2018. ADA Coordinator Kevin Rudden, Affordable Housing Coordinator William McHenry, Building Inspector Timothy Accardi, Building Inspector Assistant John Erickson, CMRPC Planning William Ambrosino, Custodian Soldiers and Sailors Graves Robin Fletcher, Election Warden Carol Cook, Election Warden Deputy Catherine Rich, Emergency Management Director Mark Bacchino, Master Plan Committee Kathleen Schofield and Mark Mortimer, Chief Procurement Officer Kimberly Newman, Town Council Brandon Moss, Treasurer Collector Jennifer Welch, Veterans Agent Robin Fletcher, Veterans Burial Agent Robin Fletcher, Wiring Inspector Jack Granga, Wiring Inspector Assistant Albert Jones, ZBA Alternate Lonnie Tinio, ZBA Alternate Shirley Grant, Zoning Bylaw Review Committee Jonathan White. That's it.
Okay, are those all reappointments?
I asked that question earlier and I was told yes.
All right, the only comment I would have is that I know that as a rule, the emergency management director position is usually subsumed by a fire chief, which I know we're digging into. But I think I'd like to see, and we don't have to, obviously don't need to talk about this now because we don't have the fire chief now anyway, but I'd potentially like to see him continue to be able to do that. Even
Mark
after we get there.
Bacchino.
Mark Bacchino, yeah. So just something for us to talk about when we get that far, but.
Well, so I'm confused on what you're saying now. You would
Well,
like-
it doesn't impact this vote at all, because we don't have a fire chief. All I'm saying is I'm taking the opportunity, because I see it here, to say that I'd kind of like to see him he's expressed the interest, and I'd like to see him continue to do that.
Right, so then the new fire chief, if he were to choose to use the new fire chief, then we would do it after, in a year, is what you're
Yeah, it
saying?
wouldn't be till after we get exactly right.
Okay, I just wanted to
But
make
if
sure.
that confused you, let's not worry about it, because it doesn't apply till we get a fire chief.
Right, the only question that I would have, if you were saying that you were concerned about it, then we could just hold that one line item and try to address it at the point of us getting a new fire chief.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't want to do that. That's the point I'm making.
Okay, just want to make sure it's clear. All right, I'm fine with that. Okay,
Okay, step down in second.
all right,
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye. Thank you to all of those volunteers. I mean, I think every single one of them have been involved for quite a number of years and continue to provide the town with excellent volunteer support and help. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 3-year.
Okay, it says, I move to make the following appointments for the terms to expire June 30th, 2020. Agricultural Committee, Kenneth O'Brien. Capital Planning Committee, Norman Round. Comparks, Daniel Byer. Conservation Commission,
Okay, I gotta stop you there and ask what that means. Why does it say-
Community preservation?
Community Preservation.
Okay, fine.
Community Preservation, Community Parks. Conservation Commission, Carol Hummel and Damon Tinio. Council on Aging, Earl Pearlman and Carol Koutros. Cultural Council, Deborah Perro. Finance Committee, Brian Guzman. Historical Commission, Kathy Schofield. Land Use Committee, Land Use, I would say, it says Land Use it must be Commission,
yeah.
Committee. Selectman Mark Real Jr., Town Administrator Kimberly Newman, and ZBA Patrick Gerton.
Step down in second. Okay, so the only did I have one question here? Oh, yeah, that was it. On the capital planning committee, what's the total number of people we got on that now? Again, not that it matters for this vote, but just,
We still have 2 vacancies on
we're still
capital
shy.
planning, yes.
Okay, just like we have on FinCom with two people,
FinCom
2 persons
and
short.
master planning and Concom.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's Selectman Schofield's pitch. Well, anybody that wants to volunteer, we'd love to
I
have
think
you.
if I was making an official pitch, I think I could do better than that. But I hope. But anyway, okay, all right, good. So step down, did I step down in second?
Yes,
already?
you did.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And thanks again as well to those 3-year appointments. Again, it seems to always be mostly the same group of names. I mean, God forbid all these people are over in one place at one time and a natural disaster strikes.
That would not be good.
I mean, seriously, what would the town do?
I don't know, but I'm on this list, so
Thank you, Miss Newman.
what's gonna happen?
Concerned about herself.
Well, and Kathy, I mean.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
thank you, Miss Schofield.
All right, municipal hearings officer.
Okay, so I move to appoint Melissa Kakela Boisvert.
I think it's pronounced Kakela, isn't it?
Is it
It is
Kakela?
Kakela. Every time I think I got it right, I got it wrong.
And how do I say the last one, please?
Got that right.
Yeah.
Boisvert. All right, so I can put your names like the best of them, so. To the municipal hearing officer with the term to expire June 2018.
Step down in second.
All right.
Okay, so this is the position we had all the agit on last year, right? Okay, but everybody's good this year?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, okay, fine. All those in favor? Aye.
Cool.
Say aye.
I did.
All right, Economic Development Committee.
All right, so
Got a
consider,
good size list there.
we do,
Sorry,
consider,
before you read that, just one quick question. Don't we need some number of these on 1-year terms? Because you have to get the rotation, so you need 2 3s, 3 2s, and 2 1s. Well, we have 1 on already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So before you make all these appointments, a couple of the people interested couldn't make it tonight, and they haven't been formally interviewed by the board, so I would recommend you only appoint people who are in attendance tonight after you interview them, and then you can determine whatever order. We were just making a recommendation on staggered appointments.
Okay, but our motion provides for everybody together, right?
no.
No?
Each,
They are each separate.
They're each
Good,
separate.
Good. All right, let's start with the low-hanging fruit then. Okay, so, because Miss Berry has been here every time we've had a conversation.
She
We've met her,
has.
we've talked to her, that's an easy one.
Yes.
That's right, so we can just handle that right away.
Yeah.
So I move to appoint Jordan Berry to the Economic Development Committee for a 2-year term expiring June 2019.
Step down a second. Any further conversation? I assume because you're here, you're still in.
I'm in.
All
Heading
right,
in for a pound, right? Okay, good.
all right,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
All right,
All right.
so,
I'm sorry, I don't remember all the names, so tell me who else on this list we've already seen.
Why don't you just have the people here for interest and come forward? That would be good.
Okay, that's fine.
the rest of you, come on forward.
Right.
Come hither.
Because you
Hither
haven't
and there.
spoken to them, and so you may want to interview them. It's terrible. It's the lighting in the outside.
Holy cow, my eyes are like
Look at this.
wicked bad. All right. Who wants to go first?
So I think we've spoken to you before, haven't we?
No.
No?
Have not talked, okay, good, so the fact that I don't remember his name's okay.
Why don't you say your name?
Okay, I'm John Danielson. I'm relatively new to Mendon, a little over a year. Live off of Quissett Road. Have a background in urban planning. Work for real estate developers, low-income housing, multifamily housing developers. Currently work for a national drugstore right around the corner, and their real estate department developing do sales forecasting for new stores and relocation stores. Want to be part of the community. I always drive through town and say something needs to go in here, and something needs to come around this corner. And every time I go through, and I'm guilty. CVS has looked at the corners, and I put some numbers on those corners, but just couldn't get them to work. So I have a little interest in that, and want to have some more services in town too. I mean, it's not that far to go to Milford and Route 16 down that area, Home Depot, but I'd like to have something closer.
Can you just pull that mic a little closer or something so you're not cranking the volume?
Sure.
Thanks.
So that's kind of my my ambition and goal, is to be on the committee. And that's kind of where I stand.
Maybe I should pause there for a second, because I just want to, I'll give my quick pitch as to how I see the Economic Development Committee, right? So the primary problem we have here in Mendon is we have a tax-fatigued resident base that's mainly tax-fatigued because of what I perceive, and I think my colleague here perceives, as an imbalance of commercial versus residential revenues. Our proportions are 12% commercial and 88% residential. Milford, I found out last weekend when I was doing a little research, is actually 33-66. Now, of course, we don't want to go that far. We don't want to be Milford, right? But some adjustment there would give our residents some relief and allow us some better services. I mean, at least better roads that we have. I mean, if I just give you the quick numbers, we've been told by a road study that if we keep doing what we're doing, spend $300,000 a year on the roads, we can expect the average grade of our roads to degrade from the 72 we got now. Works just like a test score. We're at a 72. We can expect that to drop to the high 60s in the next 5 years. If we spend $600,000, we'll at least level off and keep it to 72, right? But if we want to improve, we got to be spending closer to $900,000. So that's just one example of a million we could give you about things we need to sink some money into that we can't without further fatiguing our residents. So the number one goal, in my view, of the Economic Development Committee is to find a way to change that balance. It's the only metric that matters. Okay, make sense? Okay, so we might as well go to.
Hi, good evening. So my name's Karen Wheat. I've been in town for, I think, about 19 years now.
Did you say weeks or wheat?
Wheat.
Oh, it is wheat, so it's right here, okay.
W-E-A-T,
Yeah.
right. I did own the Finest Gourmet, which was in town. I operated my business for 7 years.
Oh, I knew you looked familiar. Yeah, we
Yeah.
bought many a meal down there.
So I'm no longer doing that, but I was very much a part of the town, trying to create business, an entrepreneur. Been there, done that, and I've always, I have a strong desire to help other small entrepreneurs try and, grow and develop into something larger. And I'd like to be able to help in that area. I'm now in sales, full-time position elsewhere up in Marlboro, entirely different, but I'd like to try and see the services be better in town.
Yeah, okay. And we know the other two people on either end, but we'll give you a chance to talk a little bit anyway. Mr. Morali, tell us about yourself, or tell the people at home about yourself.
I'm Tom Morali, been in town for 26 years, lifelong resident. I think that everybody wants to see the town economically prosper. I think we've got a great thing going here. People come here a lot for the aesthetics of the town as well. I think there are several towns in the state that have sort of used that character of a small town to sort of drive economic growth, and the types of businesses that come there, small entrepreneurs, as you mentioned. But one example is Hudson. And also being on the historical commission, I'd like to kind of see smart growth that maintains the character of the town while also allowing us to get better services and better tax base. I'm also the assistant treasurer, so I kind of see where the taxes come from and can see the imbalance as I'm collecting the money.
You enjoying that job so far?
It's great.
Yeah?
That's awesome.
All right. Okay, Mrs. Mazar, now I'm afraid of you. I have to be honest, I'm a little afraid of you on this.
You don't need to be afraid of me.
Okay, well, let me, before you speak, let me just say why, just so I got it out in the open,
Yeah,
right? So we both know that you're highly preservationist, if I can use that word. And
smart
I'm a
words.
little concerned, that the balance of your opinion will be towards not doing something than doing something that will adjust the tax rate. So just so it's out in the open what my concerns are up front.
Sure. Well, the reason I was interested in the committee is that we do need more of a commercial base, like everyone has said. And secondly, I wanted to, what we bring in, I'd like to match with the character of the town, as Mike said.
That's
Tom. Son.
Everyone likes his,
Sorry.
Mike's his dad, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know. Look, just so you know, we have that opinion too, I think. Let me talk for you, but we
Yeah.
definitely want to grow with the character of the town.
Yeah, and I think that you do too. And then the other reason is that I'd like to try to follow low-impact development principles, which we know and we're working on, so just continue with that. And then the other thing is, there's a fourth reason. Definitely the smart growth I agree with. There's certain areas in town that should be preserved because they're very special and they're good wildlife habitat. And then there's other areas that are really good for commercial, Route 16, 140, because that's like the central part of town. I can't remember the fourth reason. But the reason I think that I'd be good on the committee is that I've brought in a lot of outside money into Mendon, from writing grants and doing, getting donations.
That is true.
Bringing in,
That
working
is
with a lot
very
of
true.
state organizations to bring in programs, and so I think I have that skill. And I also am very creative, and so a lot of the projects I work on, I look at with a different light, and so sometimes money comes from different places, and different people work together to end up with a really good project.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, I mean, I don't have any ulterior motive of being on the committee, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, I'd never accuse you of having a hidden agenda. Yours is right out there,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like mine.
no, it is, yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Oh, I know what the other one was. I did have one more thing. That if the town does own some commercial properties, and that if the town decides to sell some of the properties, I just want to make sure that the town gets the money it should get for it, that it's done in a public forum, and it's not like a behind-the-scenes deal, that the town isn't going to get the full benefit.
Make sure that it is in a public forum.
It is in a public forum, and that the town, if they're going to sell land, they get the money they should deserve, and that the project's a good project that the town wants, and that it goes through a good process.
Yeah, well, I can
Yeah.
assure you that this board would never allow that anyway.
And
No chance.
And I agree from what I've seen in the past, all three of you, but I would just like to help with that process too.
Yeah, good. And if we back up to the grant thing for a minute, I know that there have been a couple of possibilities, although I don't know that we researched them as much as we maybe could have or should have, because we were embroiled in so many things at the time. But I think there is a possibility of some amount of grants for potentially water and sewer up Route 16, which I see as a major impediment to the right type of business on the main drag here. So, yeah, love that skill. Okay, so that's all for us. So, did you have a question?
Well, not really a question as much as a comment, is that obviously this is a pretty significant commitment. It's a pretty important committee for our community. And I just want to make sure that you're all okay with the significant time commitment on this. We're trying to get all the other committees and boards. As you heard earlier, we have a few committees and boards that are lacking participation, and we're looking forward to getting them back up to speed as well. I just don't want this thing to come out of the chute at 100 miles an hour and then stall out. I want to encourage this board to really move it forward, because to what Selectman Schofield said, this is important for our community to find creative ways to generate revenue so that we're not burdening the taxpayers any further. We have a ton of capital needs in the community. We also have a ton of infrastructure needs in the community. If we don't find creative ways to do it, we're gonna have to keep on going back to the taxpayers looking for money. We have to rebalance that commercial versus residential. We only have so much commercial land available to us. We're gonna have to be talking to the zoning committees, we're gonna have to be talking to the Concom. There's a lot of stuff that this committee's gonna have to do, and there's gonna be some heavy lifting. I just wanna know from all of you, are you willing to make that commitment? I know you're always 1,000% in anyways, but there's gonna have to be a significant commitment to this.
What do you see that time as? Because I'm not sure I have my mind around what I think it'll take, but what do you think it'll take for a time commitment?
It's hard for me to even judge it in respect to goals, because it's hard to outline the goals. Where do this committee has to get organized and figure out where to start. I have ideas of where to start, and obviously, John here, who has a degree in urban planning, I'm sure he has some ideas, creative ideas on how to, start the process. But, once it gets going, I would expect, routine updates back to the board. And, and I hope that stimulates even further conversation to keep on pushing it forward, because what we don't want to do is come up, spend 2 or 3 years building a plan and then not have anything come to fruition. You guys are gonna get burnt out, you're gonna get frustrated, we're gonna get tired, and we're gonna still have our needs, and we're not gonna have any process going forward. We have the land on Route 16 I really wanna focus on. We're talking about doing some RFPL, possibly out on Route 16. So that's gonna be an area of focus. We're gonna wanna do something with that, in my opinion. I'm gonna wanna do something with that.
That would be the first thing I think this committee would do, is because we have failed miserably to get to it.
Yeah.
With all we have to do. We wanted to release an RFP. Mr. Meehan had provided us with, and you read it, you know what it looks like, a recommended RFP that we looked at and we created a response to, but we just haven't had time to drive it forward. So to answer the question specifically, what I have in my mind is maybe 4 to 8 hours a month.
It could be, yeah.
Just as obviously it would wax and wane. Does that scare anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I know if it were me doing it, there'd be times, I do an awful lot of research, look up, check into what TIFs are and how they work, and pilots, and it may even come down to even maybe meeting a business or two to convince them to come here than somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all up to what you guys think will do it.
Well, and that's the point that I'm also trying to emphasize, is that the job goes outside of just your meetings. And, there's gonna be a significant time commitment on your own, to keep things moving. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for somebody who just wants to show up and just be on a committee.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's something near and dear to my heart, so I expect I'd probably be at as many of your meetings as I could show up to.
Me as well.
Not out of the country.
Yeah,
Okay.
me as well. Okay.
All right, so if we haven't scared off anybody by saying that,
Do I have anybody who's gonna jump ship? All
okay,
right.
so I guess the next question I would ask is anybody still of the four of you, in thought mode here, saying, okay, well, I just came because I wanted to understand what it was about, or have you kind of made the decision, and if we were amenable to appointing you, you're ready to say appoint me?
I'm more in thought.
You're in thought mode?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
new to me, so
Good,
I want
okay,
to know
thank
more
you for
about
telling
it.
me that, okay.
I'm all for a point.
You're ready to go, okay,
I'm ready to go.
and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I just want to say something to Karen though too, on a committee like this, lots of times, it'll be planning and this and that, and then certain committee members might have a specific interest and want to work on it. It's not like everybody has to put in, this many hours a month. It will go up and down. So, she's my recruit. You're scared away.
Well, I do volunteer in a couple things, and I have a full-time job, and I don't want to overcommit.
Yeah.
But I am very interested in the portion of helping the businesses work through town and getting help from town. So I see that as a really good fit for me. I don't know that that would take up 8 hours all the time you know what I mean? So if that's an avenue I could
I
kind
just-
of focus on.
I just did this. That's all I did with that 8. That's all. I just, the 8 is just a thumb suck.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying, yeah. So don't like get it in your mind that it's gotta be 8.
No, I understand that, but I would hate to disappoint. And
Yeah.
so, you know, I'm just trying to understand a little bit more. I thought I've been to a meeting here before where there was more planning and they brought people in from the town and asked questions about the growth over here on 16 and did that all just kind of phase, I'm surprised.
I don't
that
remember
hasn't
what
been a
meeting
committee.
it was.
You mean like a long?
Like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Oh,
Well,
you might be talking about the master planning committee? You talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that not,
Oh, no, that's, we created them. Go ahead.
Actually, that still exists, and they need members too, and they meet a lot less.
They're almost done.
You can't get a triple, get a double, right?
And the chairman is wandering around somewhere if you want more information.
but I would think, no, I'm interested because I'd love to work with Ann, to be honest with you. I think she's a very strong person to work with. I think it would be a lot of fun.
So I got 2 of you to worry about if we appoint both.
I think you'd be all right. These guys paint a very intimidating picture, but truthfully, once committees get moving, I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
it's organic.
yeah, and it's, right. And there's a lot of members on this committee, so it's
Right,
not
that's
as
what You
if,
sounded as if there was.
Right.
more.
I
So
wouldn't-
here's a thought. So like I said, we've got 7 members, right? So we gotta go 2, 3, to start off, we gotta go 2, 3 years, 2, 2 years, and then 2, 1 years. Okay? To get this cycle the way it's supposed to be. Okay? So what I'm gonna suggest is, what if are you prepared to even do maybe a 1 year and just try it out?
Yeah,
We could
I would
appoint
sign
you,
up for the one.
and
Yeah.
then see how it goes, and if it's okay, it works for you,
Yeah.
you keep going,
Yeah, that I would do.
okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we've already got 1 3-year, that's, I'm sorry.
Tim.
Tim, yeah, okay.
Jordan is 2,
Tim who?
Jordan,
Preston.
we just voted her for 2? Okay.
Tim Preston,
Okay.
Wait a minute, I don't see him on my,
How do you spell his last name?
Presson. He's already on. so-
that's what I was gonna say,
I just wanted to
yeah.
write down the names, okay. All right. So now,
That's
who's
2.
committed enough? Now, when I say committed,
Oh,
right?
man, this is like,
At breakfast.
just appoint them already.
At breakfast, I want to make one more joke, okay, before I appoint, okay? At breakfast, the hens involved, the pigs committed. We need commitment, right? Thank you for somebody laughing.
This is, everyone,
All right,
just
Jordan
leave-
gets
just
3.
leave now and save
You
yourselves.
should upgrade it to 3, that's
Yeah, we
right.
should upgrade Jordan to 3.
But we still have to choose who's what
I
number.
don't care, just, it's 2 and 3. I mean, they,
And they can just re-up, that's fine. Okay, so let's go with, you got them each individual. Do you have numbers in, or you got to fill in the
so
numbers?
if John is 3.
I have numbers in here already, so John's at 3, so let me start with John, okay?
So we have,
Okay, fine.
but before you go, we have
Okay with
the,
that, 3?
we have the 2 motions in here for people who are not here, so just cross those 2 people out.
Well, we'll
I'm
skip
only
them.
gonna, I'm
We'll
just gonna
do
skip
one
them.
at a time.
I'm just gonna go through the ones that we just interviewed, and we'll stop there. So I move to appoint John Danielson to the Economic Development Committee for a 3-year term expiring June 2020.
Step down and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that's all set. Now, let me go down to Mr. Morale. I move to appoint Thomas Morale to the Economic Development Committee for a 3-year term expiring 2020.
No, that would give us 3 years. We got to change him to 2.
That would give us, where's the third?
Yes.
No, the 2 3s, 3 2s, and 2 1s. When
2
you start-
years, okay, 2 years,
3s,
Yep.
3 2s.
Step down and second.
okay. Oh,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's
Okay,
Thomas.
so let me just get him, where's him? Sorry, we're jumping all over the place because they were all in order. All right, let's go to, so Karen. So I move to appoint Karen Wheat to the Economic Development Committee for a term of 1 year, expiring June 2018.
Step down and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great.
Okay, and then Ann, what did you have Ann on, a 2-year?
Ann's gotta be 2, yeah. You want 2 or you want the other one? Okay.
Okay.
I think they would be that easily.
So I move to appoint Ann Mezar to the Economic Development Committee for a 2-year term expiring June 2019.
Step down at second.
Okay. All right.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, so let's just review where we're at now. So we've got Tim and John as 3s, Jordan, Tom, and Ann 2s, and Karen is 1, so we just need one more 1-year appointment.
Yes.
Good.
And I have
Okay.
as many as 3 other candidates.
Okay. So that's enough for a quorum, right? And Ann, given your extensive experience in town government and running meetings, et cetera, would you take the helm to initiate the first meeting and so you can get organized?
Sure, and then vote for like.
And then you vote for who you want for, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. All right? Cool.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Yes. Okay. Oh, I don't know where you're going, Tom. Oh, actually, it's probably no big deal, because this is gonna be quick, I think. So then we get Tom on the Historic Commission, right?
Geez, Tom, you gonna be able to sleep? I move to appoint Thomas Morelli to the Historic Commission for a term to expire June 30th, 2019.
Step down at second. All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
thanks.
All right, junk license for Dave Lowell at the Abaddon Tavern. I say, you know what, he won't let me go up there and look around.
He told me I could.
He did not.
He did too.
He won't let me.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'm gonna vote no then until he
Well,
lets
that's
me.
fine.
Hole in a china
I
shop.
move to approve a junk license for David Lowell at 4 Main Street pending routing slips. You better
Oh,
approve
step down in
this.
second, I guess.
You better approve this, because I want up my tour.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just out of curiosity, if anybody's listening that doesn't know this, I got a shirt that says Amadon in 1745. George Washington never slept here, because there's an old folklore story, it may or may not be true, that presumably he wanted to sleep there on his triumphant inaugural tour, and they told him it was full, and they didn't believe that it was really him that was gonna come. Don't know if it's true or not, it's in Metcalfe's Annals of Mendon, but nonetheless, George Washington never slept there. Okay,
Okay.
Jan Pro.
Jan Pro, I move to allow the town administrator to enter into contract negotiations with Jan Pro Cleaning Services to clean the town hall offices.
Step down a second. Hey, I might like to negotiate that contract.
So, the contract, we went out to RFP, actually, so it's to sign the contract.
This is a new service, right?
Yes, so we went off to RFP many months ago. We received 3 different bids back. Jan Pro was the lowest. It's gonna save the town about $5,400 annually. This actually cleans all of the town's buildings, not just the town hall. This is police station, new library,
Yeah.
old
Now
library.
that had been all separate contracts or deals,
Or
right? So-
individual persons, so.
Right.
And so now they'll all be under one, and it will be less for each of the individual
Great.
buildings.
Yep, just what we wanted.
Do I have to amend this motion to say all,
No, I mean, enter into contract with Jan Pro. I mean, that's,
What did you say?
it says Jan Pro Cleaning Services to clean town hall office.
just say town, take hall out.
Yeah, let's just say Jan Pro
Amended.
cleaning, period, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
All right, step down, second is amended.
okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
So we should publicly thank John Potter, who's been working here for many years and who's
Oh,
done a
that's
very
right.
good job on behalf of the town. And he did submit a bid. Unfortunately, it was not the
Is he a
lowest.
resident?
I don't believe so, no. But
Well.
he's done a very good job for many years.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay. Designated town administrator and 1 board member. Oh, God, I want this so badly. So so explain how this is gonna work. How do we do it?
Well, just say what it is, because,
Oh, perfect.
Well, I figured she could explain it as she.
well, no, but you didn't even say what we're discussing.
Yeah, right, I understand. I thought she could just explain the whole thing.
Okay.
So changes to the Municipal Modernization Act have allowed for the board to designate one person to sign the weekly warrant rather than the entire board having to come in every week and sign it themselves.
Right.
In the absence of one person, then the board would have to come in, the majority of the board would have to sign, so you can name a person instead of all three of you.
Okay, now, when Ms. Newman says the warrant, it's basically the weekly expense or the weekly budget that if we don't sign it, nobody gets paid,
And no bills get
and no bills get paid.
Right.
So it means that 2 of the 3 selectmen always have to find their way by a certain amount of time down to the town hall to make sure we sign it so that everybody gets paid. So this will make that much easier.
every week.
Okay, so the Municipal Modernization Act will allow us to do this. So what mechanism do we have to do to make it effective?
You need to take a vote and you need to name a person.
The board, just the board has to do that?
Correct.
Okay, so we don't have to go to town meeting, nothing like that?
Nothing.
Okay,
And if that person isn't available,
Then the majority of the board.
okay.
So
So if we name Rich then, and he's out of the
then
country,
the rest
then,
of you have got to come in. Yes.
perfect.
okay, understood.
Under
Well,
the,
at least it's better than what we're doing now, a lot better, so.
all
Good.
right, so, I make a motion that under the Municipal Modernization Act, Part 4, Financial Management and Governance, under approval of bills, warrants, Section 57 and 58, I designate the town administrator and Selectman Mark Reel to sign the weekly town warrant.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this one?
No.
Yeah. You usually like to take a look at the warrant, which you still, obviously, that doesn't preclude any of us doing that as we
Correct.
want.
Correct.
Yeah, I usually am the first one in here anyway to do it, so.
Yeah. So, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, very happy
actually,
about that
Kim said today, I think Rich really wants to be the one.
I
And I
did.
said, no, I know that he probably
He
doesn't.
loves to come in.
Oh, is that it? Oh, so we have to pick somebody now?
We just did.
You picked Mark, it was in the motion.
Oh, okay, good.
Mark then volunteered.
Oh, my God, it'll be okay, Rich. All right. Okay, good. All right, what are we on now?
The community,
Community Compact IT Grant Award. Who's gonna tell us about that?
I can tell you about it.
Please.
So the town, we applied, this is the second year we've applied for the IT grant from the Community Compact Program through the state. This year, we were awarded $10,000. This is simply the motion that authorizes me to sign to be in receipt of the money that we've received for the grant.
Now, we put our PCs in town on a 5-year rotation plan, and we funded a line item
Yes?
for $10,000 a year to replace 10 a year, right?
No.
This does not do that. This does extra stuff, right?
Correct. This grant was specifically approved because it's going to increase transparency in town services electronically for our residents, and so that, anything under the guise. So it's gonna include software for the town clerk's office, and then agenda software for the Board of Selectmen, and then if there's funding still available, it'll include electronic devices to go with the sort of paperless meeting process.
Okay, great.
all right, so I move to accept the Community Compact IT Grant Award and allow the town administrator to sign the grant contract.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right. How are we doing on time? We got,
We're doing
10
great.
minutes.
we got 10.
Right, 7:30,
Oh, so we got plenty of time.
right.
Oh,
So I rushed here for no reason.
Well, we were posted at 6, so that would have been the first reason.
Okay.
so true.
All right. Discuss the possible sales of 2 town-owned properties. Now, I thought there were 3. I thought Ms. Berthold had identified 3.
I don't know about that.
I remember too.
Okay, maybe it was
I
just 2.
remember too.
Okay, all right. I might be just missing it. Okay, so we don't have anything to actually vote on today, do we?
No, but I can give you a little bit of information on this. So the previous treasurer collector had brought these 2 parcels and this issued to the board a couple of times in passing before she left, cut through a couple of emails, you may not have seen them. There was some discussion with Ann back and forth about,
You know which 2 she's talking about, right?
Right, Inman Hill. So I have asked the current treasurer collector to sort of regroup, see where Linda was at and sort of the process, sort of find out what the process is. I remember having a conversation with Linda about like a sealed process and making sure it's fair market value, and I know that Brandon was involved in a conversation, but nothing beyond the extent of
Right.
that. So if you want us to pursue this, we can, so.
Yeah, my understanding is we have to actually go to RFP
Right.
in order to do it,
Right.
right?
Right.
And yes, Ms.
I have a question, what's the one on Gladstone?
It's 182.
How many acres is it?
I'm unaware of the details.
On the 15, I have a septic plan already done for that
Okay.
property, and it, with the housing prices, it does seem like a good time to sell that piece.
Okay.
But I don't know what the Blackstone is.
Okay, what level of input is appropriate from land use on this topic of these two projects?
Well, I mean, we can bring it up at our next meeting. I know that in the whole property, it's like just a lot, and we try to sell it because the housing market's all the way down,
Okay, so you expect land use to be on sides with selling it?
Definitely.
Okay, what about 182?
I don't know, I'm not sure where it is. I gotta look at it to see what
Okay.
it is.
All right. Look, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, the town owns too much land, and I'd let
Well, it
see
was
so-
slated to be sold anyway.
Yeah.
That was part of the whole.
Yeah, I have no problem moving forward with,
Yeah, I don't think we have to take a formal vote, so why don't you go
Nope.
ahead and start
Fine.
investigating it and whatever RFP we gotta do. And so if you wanna just check real quick to make sure you guys have no objection on 182.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right? All right, future meeting date, July 12th.
Right.
I was there for the painful process of picking that date.
Welcome. You're welcome.
we actually have to have a motion for that?
No,
No.
but she just wants to make sure that's the next time we want to meet.
No, that's fine, but I have a motion in here.
Oh, you do?
Sorry,
We're very thorough.
Like, what?
Set it in
Is there
stone
something
with a
special?
motion.
Yeah, get your gavel out, Rich, and slam
Need
it.
to go, commit.
All right,
Only
so
bus
then,
nodular.
so then let's do end of year transfers. So everybody's okay with the 12th, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Do you want me to make a motion on it?
No, please don't.
So I move to sign the end-year transfers as presented. So, what do we?
There's a whole
Okay.
stack of them.
Let's see
I
'em.
can talk you through them.
Yeah. Okay, is this gonna finish us off? We're gonna have no more?
We just have to
If you want to
reorganize.
have executive session, that's up to you.
What's that?
Executive session.
I'm sorry, I'm not following you.
Unless we're having executive session.
What
We
does that
Uh,
have
have a-
to do with end of year transfers?
Oh, I thought you said this is the end, last thing, unless we're finishing it off.
No, I'm asking about,
End of the,
The
I'm
re-
asking about the end of year transfers.
So I've asked all the.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else too. I thought you were saying something else also.
So I've asked all the departments and the boards to submit anything that they're aware of at this point. So this is a collection of everything that we are currently aware of for needs through the end of the fiscal year. But we can still have transfers through 15 days into the next fiscal year. So that's why we're meeting on the 12th, in case something may occur between now and then. I know the FinCom is meeting again on Wednesday of this week. These transfers need approval by both the board and the FinCom.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
both need to sign off.
All right, well, the only point I want to make is I'm going to take a dim view of more transfers that come in that were totally predictable. So make sure the department heads know that. I find that very frustrating when it's, they could have known
Overall, I think they've done a good job.
it. Okay, good. All right, so you want to take us through them?
I don't know what order you have them in over there, so if you read off and which one it is to me, and then I'll tell you
All
what it
right,
is.
so we have police overtime wages, I'm sorry,
Where are you
from,
finding that?
right here.
This is one package?
I got one package. I'll have to tell you. So you should have had your notebook. You could have gone right to it.
Okay, here it is right here.
All right, so from general fund fire salaries, it's $5,000, Cam, to police overtime
Yeah, that's
wages.
the first one we got.
My understanding is that you may have had a conversation about this earlier
I
today.
did, I'm all set with it.
Okay, I didn't, so what was this one?
Yeah, it's just, he needs additional money in police overtime wages to cover some of the details and et cetera that they've done.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's taken it out of his
Actually,
own.
I'm sorry, he did tell me that.
Yeah, so he's taken it out of his own
Yep.
department.
Yep, he told me that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so the second one, Kim, was we have highway overtime detail, $8,500, and then another 2,000 from that to road, 8,500 to road materials and 2,000 highway overtime.
Right, this is a transfer from police, the detail line there, there's more than enough money between the police department's overtime and Allen's, the highway department's budget for police overtime, to transfer to cover for the extra materials needed for a project and the overtime for the highway department.
Okay.
Did Alan expend any money out of his police overtime detail budget this year?
I can't answer that question off the top of my head,
Okay,
but I'm pretty sure, yes.
okay, all right. Because it seems to
He
me,
must have, he had a detail on Providence,
Right.
I thought the budget and amount was 10,000 in there, but maybe it's more than that. It would have to be, because he's looking for 10.5 out of there.
Right. Actually, I should be able to tell you. The remaining balance is $6,892.
Okay, so, okay, got it.
okay, next one's library, Kim.
Earlier, last year, I had the library move money for the custodial services from salaries into a contractual line, because it was my understanding that the person was an independent contractor who was working for the library. Turns out they were being treated as an employee, so the town accountant recommended that we move the money back into salaries and continue to pay them as an employee. So this is a transfer to cover the expenses related to that.
Okay. And then we have another one for library for,
It's all
it's
the,
going from the fuel,
That's all the
same thing.
just
they're all the
another-
same.
Okay, and then the next one for reserve salary negotiation, same thing.
Hold on, I don't see where you're at.
This is still library.
So had we never moved?
Library
his raise
director's
into his-
salary.
No, so that what, sorry, what
Well, the
question?
one we're looking at, is it, you looking at the same one?
1,200, yeah, this is for his director's salary.
Yeah, so had we never moved his
No,
raise?
so for Andrews was never moved, so we negotiated that contract,
Why wasn't it moved?
because we negotiated his contract in December. So this
Okay.
just would have been the mechanism at the end of the year to take care of that.
See,
additional-
I would have, when, the last meeting we had, when was the last, STM we've had?
We had town meeting
And
and
the ATM.
Town meeting,
So we actually haven't had an STM since November?
correct. We
See,
had-
that's beautiful. That's a good answer. Okay, fine.
Okay, next one is Parks and Water, Kim.
This is the same exact issue, which is in December, I believe,
For
we
Dan.
made Dan
Dan.
Byer
Yeah.
take the duties for the water board underneath the Parks Director position, and so we have to transfer to cover the amount.
Just a quick thing before I go on. I don't like the fact that there's different templates being used
Oh, I
here.
hate it. This
Can you
is,
please fix that?
yes, absolutely. I actually made one better spreadsheet that I'm reading off of, but you.
Okay, no, that's fine, but I mean,
It
everybody,
hasn't made it to our desk yet, but that's cool.
Right. Because it hurts your head to look at that. It's
oh, it
very.
doesn't hurt my head, it's just silly.
No,
It shouldn't be that way.
I
is
know.
there a reason
That
that
it's from to. Oh,
from
it's-
isn't first?
I don't know why. I inherited that and carried it over, but I'm gonna
But
change
the new
it.
form has it the other way.
The brand new one I'm making right now in my head does, yes.
That's a good spot for it.
Yes, it does.
Okay, next one.
Keep going.
Veterans benefits, Kim.
Same issue we've had before with some of the things with Robin. This is the reimbursable benefit amounts. He needs some additional money in order to cover that.
Okay, the accounting, looks like we had a credit or some sort.
But town
Wait,
accountants,
wait,
no.
I missed something there, I'm sorry. Because there's two items listed on this one, right?
Which one?
There's the veterans aid, and you
benefits.
just explained that.
Yep.
And other benefits, dental.
In the past, we had been paying for the cost of dental from the health insurance benefits line. Lisa has separated out now so that we can see dental separately, but we need to transfer the actual amount for dental into
Oh,
that
okay.
line.
So that's just an accounting issue.
Correct.
Fine. Yeah.
All right, so what did we have here in accounting?
Which, sorry, but only because I'm thinking of it, I know I'm very in the moment tonight, but I don't want to forget to mention that I did have a conversation with one of the department heads, and I do think we should be, even though the expense line items are a roll-up and voted at town meeting, I still think that things should be put in the right subcategory, and they should be appropriately budgeting for each of those.
In the individual lines.
That's right. So in case you get any backlash from that, I told that department head, and I would tell any others, I agree with you that that's what we should
I
be
had a
doing.
very similar conversation just the other day.
So what you're saying is that didn't happen?
No, but there was an argument about whether it should happen.
Oh, okay, definitely needs to happen. All right.
Okay,
The budget is a tool, needs to be as exact as we.
town accountant salary.
Yes, so this, again, same thing, we had a contract negotiation, at least it's in the town hall union, but her tenure on her contract, she's been here a year, it wasn't budgeted for based upon me not thinking she would be qualified for the step, turns out she was here for a year, so this is the additional cost.
Yeah.
It's $569.
Yeah, why is that in brackets?
Because it's a negative, it's a debt.
That's just the way she
It
submitted
shouldn't be
the form.
Yeah,
It's $569.
because it's a transfer, you're not transferring a negative.
So
number.
they each
Yeah, that's true.
submitted their forms to me. That's why they
So,
all looked
so,
for
so not only are the forms different, but the way they fill out, even the same forms are different.
Correct.
Well,
we gotta straighten that out.
what's
Yes.
really weird about this is it's showing that I'm transferring a negative number.
Because she's an accountant, right? So she knows that there's a deficit that has to be filled out, so her number is correct.
Anyways, but
Okay, next
it's not a
one.
deficit in that line item, though.
No, well, it will be in hers. If we don't.
Assessor, travel training.
This is the money that Kevin Rudden agreed to forego in order to put the money towards additional training for an assessor.
Yeah,
So this is,
okay. All right.
And town clerk.
this is a rounding error.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, what do we got?
I think there's one still outstanding that we'll cover on the 12th, right?
Yes, Board of Health transfers.
Okay. All right. So. We
Did you
need
make
to
the
vote.
motion?
Yeah, I made the
Oh,
motion.
that's right, we made the motion and seconded. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Now what are we left with? Future, that's it. Okay, so now let's go back to reorganizing the board. Oh, yeah.
Listen to you, you're real excited.
Shall I make a motion?
Who would like to be chairman this year?
I move to nominate Chris Burke as chairman of the Board of Selectmen.
I step down and vehemently second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, here you go, buddy. Here's a gavel.
Oh, jeez.
And, you gotta do all the ceremonial
I think you're
stuff
gonna, I
first.
think you're gonna miss it.
Oh, believe me, I'll be fine.
Well, we
There you
have a
go.
few minutes till
We
7:30,
do.
so.
Let me fix my thing here first before you get going, Chris. Over to you, sir. All right.
So we do have a few minutes, so I'd first like to thank Selectman Schofield for his leadership over the past year. Richie did a fantastic job, and we had a pretty heavy load over this last year, and your management truly helped move things along, so thank you very much. Thank you. I think it's truly amazing how much we've accomplished over the last year as a team. It's truly been a complete team effort, and I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of this. This whole section of table up here is worked tremendously hard for our community, and I'm proud to be part of this board, and I'm proud how far we've moved things along. I can't believe for me personally how fast the 2 years have gone by. So Mark's been, in his second term now, so I'm sure you can imagine how fast that's even gone. So, as I can't believe I'm stepping into my
He
third.
seems like a
year.
veteran now, doesn't he?
He is a veteran.
I'm a senior member on the board.
So anyways, I look forward to the forum, keeping the momentum going forward. And as we embark on the upcoming year, I want to emphasize this is an amendment. We should be proud of the strong, dedicated team that we have, including all of our dedicated volunteers we have on all of our boards and committees. That we have, and the amount of work we have and successes we've achieved as a community. All that are involved are truly dedicated to our community and have a common goal of moving our community in a forward direction. Although we've accomplished a tremendous amount in the past year, there's still much more we need to accomplish. I believe that over the last few years, we've developed an extremely strong foundation, and that now we are now at a point where we can build on that solid foundation. In the upcoming year, I would like to focus on complete the restructuring of our public safety and hiring of our new fire chief, start the construction of our new police station. Obviously, there's many steps that need to take place over the next few months, and I look forward to working with the police station builder committee throughout that project, all the way to fruition. We as a community need to identify our position on retail of marijuana within our community, so we do have to identify our position on that, and I want to start tackling that right away. So I'll be looking to put that on one of our future agendas, because we do have timeline on that, to identify our position on that. I continue working closely with our police and fire chief, as well as our schools, on the ongoing opioid crisis. Although Mendon does not see or hear too much about this crisis, it is there, and we need to take steps to help combat the crisis. Officially appoint the commission and commission the Economic Development Committee, which will focus on strategies to establish more commercial-based businesses in our community. We're actually working on that tonight, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna increase my grade from last time, Mark, right? Because we got it done just under the clock, right?
you're gonna increase,
So I'm bumping me up to a B.
All right. The strategy will help change the balance of our commercial versus residential revenues in our community, which help ease future tax burdens in our community, all while staying within the character amendments principles. We have a number of vacancies on many of our boards and committees. We need to focus on identifying new qualified volunteers who share the same passion for moving our community forward. So that's my plug tonight for asking people to step up. I would like to rekindle our master planning committee and start focus on our deferred and future capital needs. I think it's important to establish a long-range capital project template and identify strategies which will help fund these capital projects, all while not burdening our taxpayers. And a subset of that is obviously focusing on our complete streets and working towards our goal of the refinishing of our streets. And that's something that we talked about again tonight as well. As you can see, we're pretty unified as a board here, and trying to move our town forward without impacting the taxpayers too much. And obviously, we want to improve on our interdepartmental communications. So this is something that we started a while back when Mark was the chairman. And last year,
That's the one I gave myself a D minus.
And that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
agreed on.
yeah, I mean, I think Rich, grades himself too hard. We are a team here, so we certainly need to focus on that and rekindle that. And with that, I look forward to working with all of you in our continued forward progress.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Hey, why don't you move to the middle here, because you can,
Oh, I like my seat right here.
okay, why don't you sign?
That's my first executive order.
There you go. All right, so we have till 7:30 before we can start this other piece, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Mr. Chairman? Just go into recess?
We're just going to recess, yeah. All right, so we'll just go.
Explain to the people, the residents, what we're doing.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into recess until 7:30, and at 7:30, we're going to, I wanna make sure that I say it right on the agenda. Bear with me. Which one was it, Laura?
17.
Thank you. So we're gonna be doing a housing workshop tonight, so we look forward to everybody tuning in for that. It should be a good discussion. Okay?
Yeah, and that will, just so people know, that involves some of the low-income, affordable housing type stuff that, well, I shouldn't have said low, I'd probably get kicked for that, right? Affordable. Moderate income. Moderate income, yes. But that'll all be part of the discussion. So people may really want to tune in for that.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we'll enter in recess right now. Okay, thank you.